Many women are super shocked whenever anxiety comes out of the woodworks, right? As all of a sudden we're doing great in our 20s, we're doing great in our 30s, and all of a sudden 40s hit, and we're like, all of a sudden we're anxious all the time. We're not sleeping, we're irritable. We're like, what is going on? And it can be really confusing, especially if you've never struggled with anxiety in the past. But I want to explain that hormones, guess what? It can really affect this. It changes your brain chemistry. Let me explain. If you're new to me, my name is Sherry. I'm certified in menopause health and hormone optimization, and I love to educate women so they can feel confident as they transition into menopause. So let's talk about what's going on inside your body. Let's start with estrogen. So estrogen plays a key role when it comes to some of your neurotransmitters. I'm talking dopamine, that's our pleasure one, our serotonin, but also just how our mood is in general and how stable our mood is. And then we have progesterone, which influences our GABA neurotransmitters. And this is really responsible for what calms us, what lowers us, what helps keeps us relaxed. Now, what happens as you start to transition into menopause, you have this period of time that you're in perimenopause. During this time, estrogen is up and down, but you have this steady decline of progesterone. Now, the problem is that progesterone is not all the time balancing out those spikes in estrogen. So then what happens is that your nervous system becomes much more sensitive to stress signals. And when that happens, you start feeling super overwhelmed all the time. You feel irritable, you're not sleeping, you start having these panic attacks. You almost feel like the palpitations are going off in your chest. You just don't feel like yourself. You're not reacting to stress the way you used to. And here's the kicker. You know that it's going on, but there's nothing you can do to stop it. It just comes out of nowhere. And then, not to make it much more complicated, but when you're exposed to stress and you're not dealing with it appropriately, guess what else gets out of regulation? That's your cortisol. This is your stress hormone. It starts to increase, which causes a whole nother load of things. Insulin's, like your insulin sensitivity goes down, you start putting on weight, you start putting on fat around the belly, which then further makes stress even worse. So when you add this all up, this is why women just have trouble reacting to stress. They just can't react the way that they used to. And that's even if none of the things in your life, your circumstances have not changed. And, when you start having perimenopause anxiety, menopause anxiety, it's very common. And it's because of those hormone imbalances. And a lot of times when you can correct those imbalances, you can see improvement. I hope this better explained why you may be feeling a bit more anxious, especially as you transition in perimenopause, menopause. Of course, if you have any other questions, please drop them in the comments. If you would like more education of how hormones affect your mood and just your overall well-being, make sure you hit that follow button and make sure you're signed up for our newsletter where we send content just like this to your inbox every week, and it's free. Just drop newsletter down in the comments.